Hello and welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Dragothian here, and I've got an absolutely stellar Ark of Osiris for you here. So we're continuing the way that we've been doing it the past couple weeks when it comes to casting our Ark of Osiris for everybody. Just to update, as you can see on the screen here, we are a law. So this is our first law Ark of Osiris, and I got to tell you, it went really well, really well. Couldn't have asked for a better setup. We tried a new strategy that I think we're going to really start to hone and fine tune and kind of make our own. Ronnie kind of started the genesis of it, and we've just kind of tweaked it a little bit here and there compared to who we're fighting. I think it's Kings Reborn or something like that is who we were fighting, which is also another alliance that Ronnie had casted in the past. So we had a little bit of an advantage kind of knowing what they like to do, what kind of folks they've got to play with. But I cannot tell you how absolutely excited I was to do this with everybody here today. So I've got the bottom half of the map here, the way that we've drawn it up. I believe Ronnie's already uploaded his video, and I'm sure most of you are watching it right now. And he'll show you the entire top part of the map. The reason we're doing this is because we've got so many pieces of the puzzle moving at any given time. We've got a lot of coordination in our alliance, and having the dual view of the top and the bottom, we just need to get Cuba in the middle to start casting, and we'll be in really good shape. We'll give you all three lanes of Ark of Osiris going on. We started off with 3 less than we were supposed to have there. I was looking around trying to figure out who it was. Quick note, quick tip, in case y'all didn't know, the organization of your cities is locked in whenever you are locked into the Ark. So we changed around our leadership a little bit to try and maneuver our cities closer to the front, being the R4 titles that are at the front and the leader. It didn't matter. They didn't change. So you need to make sure that whenever you're doing your Ark, you set up your leadership the exact way you want it, because it started creating a little bit of a conversation at the beginning as far as maybe we need to change something up a little bit. But at the end of the day, we just kept going on with the plan. It ended up being a lot better off than trying to switch things up and adjust things 2 minutes before the match started. So we got everything taken care of and rolling. Again, so the strategy here is pretty similar to the norm out there, which is to send a set of T1 cavalry out to capture the obelisk. But what we did different is about to happen here in about 20 seconds. So first off, before we get started, got 15 seconds before it gets rolling. I want to give some shout outs to my side of the team. Big Rick B holding down the fort with us. Little Marie, General Wasabi, Kenny, Pit Boss, Miss Callie, Jep Rock, T.H. Barry definitely did some good work over there. Wilhelm did some great work. Grim Reaper, Almighty Demon, and Dashian Wolf. And you'll see all of those folks. They're contributing in their own way. They're all fighting. They're all engaging. And it was a blast. This battle is an epic battle, and you'll see it. You will want to stay until the end of this thing. You do not want to miss a beat, because once we get rolling after we capture this obelisk, it's game time. And there was no stopping us. We went straight down the map, and we just started taking them out step by step by step by step. There was not really any hiccups that we experienced. Maybe 1 or 2 rallies that caught us off guard about halfway through, but by that time we were up by about 20 or 30,000 points. So, spoiler alert. That being said, we had a little bit of a hiccup here. People didn't understand what full infantry meant. We're still ironing that out. There is a language barrier every now and again. I did go over it multiple times, as I think you probably heard in Ronnie's video at the very beginning, so they got it, but I think some people just don't speak English. So, I mean, it's just a matter of they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out eventually. We'll get there. But basically, Rick and I were taking the leadership over on this side of the map. We were designating buildings for each of us, and then we were coordinating with the rest of our side to basically make a big push. And I actually had a lot more people on my side than Ronnie had on his side. So he was alpha team. He had 11 players on his side at the top, which proved to be we probably should have flipped them around from a now knowing what we know kind of thing, because the opposing alliance sent almost all of their folks to the top. We took care of everybody that came down our side. We had a lot of folks down our side, but I think once we jumped up in front at the very beginning, they just started sending all their troops to the top because I think they saw where Ronnie was. Because they started rallying his city, they started rallying his obelisk, and they left me and Rick alone, and we were able to basically take care of business. So here's our rally. Here's the strategy, right? We go and cap the obelisk just to make sure we get it as soon as possible with our tier 1 cavalry. That's standard. That's the game plan. That's the play that pretty much everybody does, right? What we're doing different, so there's my T1 right there about to go cap it. What we're doing different is we're rallying our own obelisk. So why do you do that, right? Why do you do that? Well, rallies do tend to be a little bit faster, especially if somebody doesn't join my rally with cavalry like they did. And I don't get to use my infantry march speed bonuses on my talents. I get there a lot faster. But if you're getting rallied, you've already got a ready-made 1.5 million troops sitting there inside of that obelisk. So you're ready to rock and roll. Second thing is, if they do start rallying, well, we can counter that. We got the troops right there. We're already moving into position for our front line of altar and shrines right beside our obelisk. I just capped that. We're starting to bring some troops up on this side. This is the calm before the storm. I mean, it's a hurricane, tsunami, whatever natural disaster you want to call over on this side, especially towards, I'd say about the 30-minute mark is when it starts getting really hairy. And we pretty much had the game locked up at that point. But yeah, I mean, you can see they're sending a ton of armies my way. And I mean, there's some going that way. I think a lot of it already happened because they're already at the obelisk. But a lot of armies are coming our way. And I'm like, man, we're going to be in for a fight. They already started moving into position to take care of their shrine and their altar. They were a little behind on their obelisk, and we were already behind on our obelisk, so I was kind of curious as to how that happened. I thought for sure that they would be taking their obelisk before they took mine, or before I took mine. We were expecting a rally, so we were expecting a rally inside of the first 5 minutes, and we're already at the 7-minute mark. So we were expecting a rally for each obelisk, which is why we rallied our own obelisks. That didn't happen, at least not within the first 10 minutes. Now, eventually, on Ronnie's side, they did rally his obelisk, and he dealt with that very easily. That didn't even cause a hiccup in Discord. They had that all rallied up. So there's our rally coming through. We're going to arrive there, and then that's when we're going to start just spreading. And the cool thing is that rally arrives maybe about 20 seconds before the flag caps, if you want to call it that way. As you can see, Kings Reborn are already starting to gain points. Ronnie capped his flag, and now he's starting to gain points. We're going to start getting some teleports here in just a minute, and he's going to start teleporting, and so are we. I did a little bit of a boo-boo, and I had my Tier 1 cavalry trying to run up to capture that shrine, which was now available, that just dropped, and I didn't have my guys in place. That is a big boo-boo. I should have had my R1s right there ready to go. As you can see, I'm moving around, trying to see where everybody's at, trying to position everybody in Discord. So that took a little bit of time away from me, and that's about probably going to be 20-25 seconds where we haven't capped that building and it's not counting down the timer. So that was a mistake on my part. As you can see on Ronnie's side, he's already captured all those things. And if you just notice, the Shrine of War up front on my side just got capped by Kuba. So we're getting the rally in here. We got 24 seconds left. Once my side caps, we're going to all pour it in, and then we're going to start sending some rallies. And we send a big infantry turtle rally to the enemy obelisk. And I will tell you what, it was an epic battle. They decided to swarm it. This is not the right idea. Instead of re-garrisoning in the obelisk. And, well, you'll see the results once they start coming in. You'll see the results. So my guys are standing there. I'm like, wait, why am I not able to teleport? Oh, wait, I've got my guys just running around doing nothing. So, again, small boo-boo on my part. It's really difficult to coordinate. This is also the other reason why I didn't live cast this. So if I was also talking to you like I am right now, and we're doing this, and I'm already kind of hiccuping a little bit, it's just I don't have the right amount of focus that I need for my gameplay. So I went ahead and recorded it. I'm doing it this way. I think you're going to get a lot more content this way, and I think it's just going to be a better experience for you overall. You're not sitting here staring at the top of my head as I'm looking down at my iPad. So as you can see, right, they've got the obelisk and strong. They've got folks all over the place. I'm constantly checking rallies to see where they're at, if they're rallying us, if they're rallying somebody else. And this is where we start talking about doing a infantry rally. And as you can see, I'm sitting here. Tip number 2, okay? If you're the main commander in any building, you can't use that commander for a rally. So I had to pull my commander out to my city before I could actually send our infantry rally. So tip number 2, boo-boo number 2 on me as well. By this point, my rally should have already started marching. So I'm about a minute behind between my T1 running around and my infantry not being able to be used while being the main commander in that obelisk. Luckily, they weren't rallying us. Luckily, they weren't pushing. I think their plan was to just cap their stuff and sit there and wait and hopefully kill us. And I just don't know how that's possibly going to be a good strategy when you got myself, you've got Big Rick B, you've got all these other players over here that have got really strong T4. It's just not a good strategy. That was not next level strategy, which is what we were told we were going to get. So we brought our A game here in a big way, minus my couple boo-boos here. I expected more, to be honest with you. And I think all of us were a little surprised at kind of how easy it was to kind of push up, especially on our side. So this is where we are starting to get the rally going. I'm kicking these guys because they're way off in the middle of nowhere. We need to get this rally moving right now. Sorry, Almighty Demon, you gotta go. Okay, you gotta go. So I think he's actually gonna drop out because I can't wait. No, I just dropped him because I just can't wait. We gotta go. So we're marching. It's gonna take about 3 minutes to get there, but that's a turtle. Okay, it's also not full, so I was a little concerned. Because they had their troops starting to push up and they didn't keep their infantry troop back like they were supposed to. So right now we're kind of playing with fire a little bit, but it ended up working out really well. I'm starting to spread out some of my other armies. I've got a full archer group led by Osman and YSG as a secondary. I've got a second infantry group led by Sun Tzu, backup secondary Barca, and then I've got my primary Richard Martel combo that's in the rally heading towards their obelisk, and then finally my Pelagius and Max Minamoto for my cab army. So I've got 4 full T5 armies running towards the opposing side. Rick also has the same thing, and ton of T4s to support all that. I mean, it was gangbusters. Like, we could not lose. Like, we were not getting beat. So as you can see, again, I'm trying to figure out where I want to go here. I was talking to Rick at that point, I think, and saying, hey, let's go ahead and start rallying these objectives. Go ahead and send your, I think I ended up sending the, Rick ended up sending a cavalry rally there, and I was so engaged with what I was doing, I didn't even end up putting my cavalry inside of that rally, and we still took it no problem. So it goes to show his commanders, because he's got a really solid Julius, and that's really all you need sometimes, is a really solid Julius with a nice maxed out Minamoto. So I believe his rally is going right there. And Cuba doing some really good work in the middle. Boggsy doing some really good work in the middle. Again, I'm trying to keep tabs of everything around my side just to kind of make sure I'm not getting caught from the left or caught from the right. And I'm waiting for my infantry rally to go up. And I kept looking at my infantry rally going, why am I not getting swarmed, or why is there not a rally coming against my rally? Like, there should be something happening against my rally right now, and it just never happened. So again, right now, and they're just sitting there. They're just letting my rally just cruise on by. I think they just wanted to camp and guard their spots. And I get that, but you can't leave a wide open lane right down the middle with T5 rallies rolling right through and just let it happen. You can't do that. So this is where it starts to heat up, and it starts going a little bit crazy. A lot of stuff starts happening. They're starting to scout us. They're starting to figure out what's going on. They're like, oh crap, wait, we got a rally coming in. Again, the middle team, there was 6 people in the middle team led by Cuba. Again, they were doing really good work with their outposts in the middle and captured every single Ark of Osiris. It wasn't even a thing. Like, every time it popped, we're like, yeah, we already got it. We're good. So we just moved on. But yeah, I mean, on their side, again, like I think so when I scouted all their buildings, they all had 750,000 to 1.2 million troops in their buildings, which is solid, right? I mean, it's really solid. But when we're rallying with the right commanders and the right troops with T5, they just melt. So that's what ended up happening. Like, there was a 720,000 rally, or 720,000 troop shrine right there. Our rally is hitting right now. And as you can see, they had Eulogy Mundiak in there. And we're fighting with a maxed out Richard and almost maxed out Martel. Full infantry rally with T5 and T4. And it's melting big time. I think I did look at the battle reports after this, and I'll walk through a few of them as we wrap everything up. But there was a sizable chunk of armies in that obelisk, and as you can see, it's melting really quick. I think 8 armies in total are inside of that right now, or 7, and now about to be 8 from Lord File. So again, assuming that maybe they are inside of that obelisk already, the army that's just kind of sitting there, not doing anything, Rick is coming to reinforce, which was really, really awesome. I think he ended up joining the rally late, so he wasn't even a part of the main rally. He started joining in and reinforced me on the back end, which was really good because I started getting swarmed at one point. So I'm looking around trying to figure out, get my other troops up, bring them up, start taking some buildings, start setting some rallies, that kind of thing. And as you can see, Rick, I think, just is about to join. He's coming in right here with his full infantry rally, or infantry group, led by Double C. It's a little weird. I think he was just throwing it at because we needed the troops. But that being said, he joined it. Leaders don't matter when you're joining a rally, folks, so not a big deal. And yeah, we took it. We sent them running away with some sad faces, and it's about to happen right now. So as you can see, we took it. They're going, and again, they're just standing there. And then what do? What should you do, folks? The folks that you've been watching my channel for the last few weeks, what do you do when somebody takes your obelisk? What's the answer to that question? If you answered swarm, you're wrong. You're just dead wrong. And you need to watch my videos some more. You need to rally it, okay? And these guys had a 1-minute rally available. I'm pretty sure they had their 1-minute rally ready to rock and roll because their rallies were pretty quick. So with that in mind, again, here we go. They start swarming. And I've got a maxed out Richard with about 750 to 1 million troops, 750,000 to 1 million troops in there. You're not budging him when you swarm him, and half of those are T5. You're not budging him with swarmed rallies, especially if you're not all T5s. Now, if you're all T5s, yeah, you can get some work done, but it's still better to rally unless you just absolutely have overwhelming odds. So here's me kind of pincering those two folks. That guy was trying to lead me on a wild goose chase. I kind of came together in the middle. These are all T5 folks. Those are all gold shinies just roaming around the map, causing havoc, causing destruction. That was a rally that Big Rick sent. And I want to say Big Rick sent that. I believe he did. And we took it. We took it right away. There's Ronnie was telling me about that obelisk rally. That was pretty sweet. So as you can see, we're starting to push all these guys back. We're just sending them, right? They're swarming the obelisk. They're just not getting anything done. They did a rally. They finally did a rally, but they had already lost half of their troops swarming the obelisk before the rally hit. So they couldn't reinforce it. Or because they got some of their cities there, they killed their troops off and then sent another troop in there, but they didn't reinforce the rally. They kept swarming me. So it just didn't work out. This is me kind of testing the water a little bit. I didn't want to wait for a scouting report. I noticed that I was doing some damage, but I was taking some serious damage as well. So I just left that. We're going to rally that in just a moment. I was trying to figure out if we wanted to go ahead and press our initiative and move forward, and that's what we did. So this is me also trying to find places to stash my troops so that I can teleport up once this obelisk is captured. And guess what? We captured it and we never let it go. It never happened once. So again, you can see the rally. They're taking significant damage. Here's Big Rick B again doing some serious major work up front here. He just keeps on dropping troops left and right, just holding people off on his own. He was a beast on the battlefield for sure. There's my guys trying to run away again because I try to send them to an objective and they, just kind of do whatever they want to do. This is me again trying to find places because I know we're about to cap that obelisk. I'm trying to position my troops so that I can transport. I can teleport over. So they're doing their thing. Takes about 1 minute and 20 seconds. I'm going to start attacking that city because why not? And yeah, they're just I mean, look at Big Rick B. He's tanking up both of those armies by himself. He's got his Barca Julius sitting there doing some work. I want to say that's Julius. Barca and Frederick. Barca Frederick. That's an interesting combo. I think he's probably looking at 4 other armies that he's working with. So he's kind of running towards some objectives over there. Pit Boss just jumped in. Little Marie jumped in. Little Marie's doing some work on General Hugh over there. General Hugh's a pretty powerful player, so Little Marie probably would have been better off maybe going after reinforcing the obelisk or something. She did some work on him, though. That's for darn sure. Look, halfway down with Minamoto being the garrison commander. That's pretty solid for a strong T4 like Little Marie is. So again, we're starting to get our folks up. There's my Cav group just kind of taking care of some business. People running away from Big Rick B. I'll take those kills every day because why not? I'll definitely take care of some folks that are running away from Big Rick B because that's what most people do when they see Big Rick B. They just run away. So I'll go ahead and take care of that. And then this guy decided he wanted to do some work. I went ahead and just hopped into Pit Boss's building because guess what? It's teleport time. And of course, throughout the thing, you'll see when I go to teleport, if I just waited another half a second, I could have teleported. Pain in the butt. So now I'm going to teleport. I'm going to go to the top left where all the other cities for them are. And I'm just going to start doing some work. So we've got the obelisk locked down. Big battles happening down here on the bottom right. Dashian, Big Rick B, General Wasabi putting in good work. Jep Rock over there putting in great work. And Grim Reaper, look at that, holding his own down there with Frederick. That's a really good one down there. So again, they're doing what they have to do, right? They're pressing their initiative. We're holding all of our information, all of our folks here, and we're reinforcing where we need to reinforce. We're being strategic with where we're placing our troops. We're going to go ahead, and once I poured it in, we went ahead and sent a rally on this objective. Went ahead and I think we did an archer rally, I want to say. Yeah, we did an archer rally on this one. However, I accidentally hit attack instead of rally. So luckily I caught it in time because that would have been a major snafu. I would have just zeroed my archer group for no reason. Here's Pit Boss. I'm bringing my folks back. This is my let's catch up. Let's get the healing done. Let's go ahead and push the initiative. Let's get some more open field battles. As you can see, we've got major armies floating all across here. They're doing what they can. I give them credit. Kings Reborn, they're doing a good job trying to kind of manage what they got to deal with here, but it's just overwhelming force. I mean, we've got too many strong commanders, strong governors, strong troops for them to deal with. They just don't have the T5 count. They certainly don't have any T5 on my side. I'm dealing with all tier 4, so I'm just nailing my hammer against the wall. It's really all I'm doing. This is where I figured out, what am I doing? Why am I sending my archers right against that for no reason? So I went ahead and sent these guys back. I don't know why I did that. I thought I hit rally, but happens to the best of us. Delayed me by about a minute again. A couple boo-boos here and there. So that's my troops with Barca Sun Tzu, I think. Yeah, and he went right inside. This guy just did not have a good idea attacking that group. And again, more work being done by Big Rick B, Little Marie. I basically just left my cavalry here fighting, so they're doing some really good work over there. And now all the troops are starting to kind of just come up. And this guy decided he wanted to do attack, so I went ahead and did that. Again, delayed my rally even more. I think we ended up just sending a cavalry army because that's what I had there. So I said, hey, full cav, we're going to the Sky Altar. So that's what we ended up doing. This guy decided he wanted to zero himself on my city. Luckily for him, all my main troops were on the map, so I had Lohar Boudica defending as my garrison commanders. Luckily, the troops that I had left in there were really solid, and the troops that were attacking me were okay, not great. So I was able to kind of just come over with my cavalry army and take out these two guys. The left army went back into her city. at which point I decided to zero her and make her go away. So that's what is about to happen here. T.H. Barry doing some great work over there. Little Marie running around, doing just causing havoc all over that obelisk area. Once we got here, we just did not let go. And again, I just left this guy. He's taken out a Richard, no problem. You know, this Osmond YSG group does some serious damage. The nuke damage is just insane. So I finally got all my troops together and back at my city. I'm going to go ahead and start just sending them back in. He's going to send his troops away. I was checking to see, like, I've heard that you can turn the burning off, but I thought it was just a thing where you just click the stop the burning button or something. But yeah, that's not a thing, I guess. I've seen it done, so I know that you can do something with it, but I couldn't find it. So went ahead and healed all my troops up and decided, you know what, you're ticking me off. You are going to go down now. So I just sent my Sun Tzu and Barca group over there. And now we're going to go ahead and hopefully, if I remember, yeah, get that rally done. Keep getting sidetracked. It's a little pain in the butt there, but yeah, we got it done. So yeah, we did do a cav group. Went in and sent that back. I think my archers are now walking back as well. That's right. My Sun Tzu was doing some work on Disney Princess, which she tried to zero me, so I went ahead and returned the favor. And look, my archer group decided to come and join in on the fun, so I'm going to go ahead and hit them from both sides there. Get sandwiched right in between two tier 5 armies. That's not a good place to be in whenever you're not tier 5 yourself. And this is me trying to find that burning button to try and eliminate the burning, and I can't find it. I just kept healing my troops, and it eventually went away by itself because there was no damage. There was no damage on my city. So I don't know why it did that, but I guess we got to figure that out at some point. So again, Big Rick B, T.H. Barry, Kinney, they're just working their way around. It's just like clockwork, literally. And they're just working around the sides and starting to zero all the cities here so they start teleporting out. This is my first check because I made a commitment to y'all. I made a commitment to y'all last time we did an Ark stream that I was going to beat Ronnie. I'm not going to spoil it, all right? But I do check throughout, probably 30 minutes on, because we basically have it wrapped up. I keep checking throughout to make sure that I am winning. Disney Princess decides she wants to go to greener pastures away from this area, and I don't blame her. I went ahead and decided to go and just do the same thing that everybody else is doing and start taking out these folks. I didn't want to occupy my main army here, so I just sent what I had and wanted to heal up my infantry so that I can start sending folks out full army towards the front of their base and clean up a couple little things here and there. I do check now that I see my rally. Went ahead and did that. My rally for the cavalry, I just went past it, and I do check and make sure that that's not a... Yeah, there's nobody else that can port in but us. Here comes the cav army. I just want to make sure that it does have enough for the job. You'll see throughout this recording, right? Like whenever you're the leader, you're organizing the attack, you're placing people strategically where they need to be, you're trying to make sure that you're covering your assets that you have behind you. You do just enough so you see just enough so that you can move on to do something else. Ronnie was sending, countless rallies. I sent probably about 6 or 7 rallies myself altogether, and I really utilized Big Rick B to kind of be my altar rally, so that when I'm rallying, so he can rally something else, and we were rallying all over the place, so that we really were never in a position where we were in a bad spot. And as you can see, I'm staring at this for just a minute. I can tell that I'm gonna take it. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? We're doing work. I'm gonna move on. I need to go see something else. I got other things to look at. That's the way you need to be playing these things. I know that you want to stare and you sit there and, oh my God, I'm gonna burn this city. These guys are gonna run. This is gonna be amazing. All the fire, all the arrows. You got to be strategic with how you're playing. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, we're swarming this city. We probably could have rallied. We probably should have rallied. He had a AOE commander that was doing some good work on our tier 4 guys here. So I had maneuvered, hoping that he would follow me to the back so that the AOEs would hit me and not them, but he was smart and kept them on them because he was going to get more kills. So I was hoping he was just going to be mad at me for attacking his city and just change the direction of his AOEs. But we did eventually zero him as well. I always like to do another couple love taps after we drop a city down. You'll see me flick it over just to make sure that they're done. And then again, we're just going to keep moving around. All of these guys end up porting out within the next 5 minutes. And we've got this whole left side just on lock. And I had scouted that city Maniac right there, and he had no troops. He had every single troop in his army out on the battlefield. So I literally just had to tap it. I didn't lose a single troop. So really, I mean, at this point, as you can see, guys, we're pushing everybody back. There's not many coming back out. They look like they're trying to log into that outpost. Unfortunately for them, you can't have too many troops inside of that outpost. So yeah, I mean, General Hughes the last one. Cheese stands alone. Unfortunately, he's just not going to have enough to knock down all these armies bashing on him. And again, Maniac had no troops, so that was pretty much a done deal there. I'm starting to bring all my folks back because, again, I want to heal everybody up and just send everybody out towards the front. So that's the point that we're getting at here. I think they are trying to get a few folks together to kind of mount a counterattack of some kind. They do end up getting behind us a little bit, being a little annoying, maybe 20 minutes in after right now, and we take care of it. But for the most part, this was pretty much it. So as you can see, my side entirely is captured. Ronnie's doing some serious work up there on the top because, and I'm constantly glancing up there just to see, you know, what's going on. They're shouting out their orders and their objectives in Discord as well. So I'm just keeping tabs on everything that's going on. And yeah, I mean, it's a constant back and forth. If they needed help, which they didn't, they could ask for it from Cuba. Same thing with me. If I needed help, which we didn't, I could ask for it from Cuba, and it was just a really good strategy all around. We never were at a point where we were up against the ropes at any point during this entire arc. So this is me, again, getting my troops ready to go. I'm sending everybody forward. I'm like, this is the time. This is the time where everybody decides where they're going to get their points at. And my decision is to go towards the front. And again, I asked on the other side, do you guys need help? Can you need me to rally anything? Are you good to go? No, we're good. We're rallying the obelisk. We've got this. Okay, cool. Forward I go. So we had our entire side locked down. Those guys were coming. I decided to engage these folks after dragging them back a little bit. I wanted Pit Boss and Kenny to get a few kills here, so I just kind of stuck them here. And here come my other armies towards the front. So I've got my Cav army right here, which I end up sending because, as you'll see in a little bit, there was a little bit of a rally on our sky altar up at the front, or Shrine of War, excuse me. But everybody's just kind of pushing. So we got Dashy in there. We've got my armies. Pit Boss is coming in. Kenny is coming up. I know right behind me also are Legend Foley. Big Rick B ended up going over to the top side to help take care of some of the cities that were around that obelisk towards maybe the last third of the match. So coming up here in about 6 minutes. And yeah, I mean, we just keep pushing here. And this is what it looks like when you've got a really solid strategy and really solid governors and troops to back it up. And they saw all these armies coming. Did you see that? Like they just started leaving. Now, Becarius, he sent a rally to my Shrine of War here. So that surprised me because I didn't see it coming. And it was just T.H. Barry sitting there holding their own. And there wasn't much that we could do. In fact, the only other army around that shrine was another army from T.H. Barry. So I don't know. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, should I just, I mean, at this point, I'll try. So I was like, yeah, I'll try. I'll send my Cav. I'll burn them down just, you know, to hopefully reduce the fighting power. But it just wasn't fast enough. I've got T5. T5 are so slow. Even for Cav, they're so slow. They're basically a fast infantry speed, if that makes sense. So at this point, again, I'm just trying to get all my troops to the beginning. We've got a rally coming in. I know it's coming. I'm pretty sure it's going to destroy that Shrine of War because, you know, no matter how powerful T.H. Barry is, she can't hold off a whole rally on her own. So I know we're going to have to rally that at some point anyway. I was tempted to say in chat to just go ahead and abandon it, but I did want them to get delayed as much as possible. So we went ahead and let the rally hit. She had a YSG, which is a really solid choice, especially for garrisoning these types of buildings, because you don't have to use the garrison talent tree to be effective in these buildings, because it doesn't work. You need to be using the skill tree, the troop-specific trees, and you also need to be using the defense trees. So again, she had 200,000 troops. That was probably 750,000 to 1 million rally. So again, it didn't work out. Now I noticed that they were rallying our obelisk that we had just captured from them, okay, as well, which is a good move. Again, start sending rallies, start taking rallies out, and start capturing objectives that way. That's a smart move on their part. Unfortunately, I already had all my T5 up front, and we already had the majority of the bottom side up at the front. So again, I'm trying to figure out, well, when can I rally this? Let me see what I've got. I'm just going to use this to do some attacking. So I went ahead and grabbed my cavalry back, told Big Rick I'm going to go ahead and send the cavalry rally over to that sky altar, and we just did the same thing. Once I got my cav back, I went ahead and started that up. Here comes the rally. So this was a solid rally. It looked like it was mostly cav and infantry. Couple siege in the back. This was probably what they had left at this point. And Dashian's up there doing some work at the very beginning. Foley jumps into the fray. We've got 3 armies already hitting this, right? And then we've got my T5s coming up to kind of finish the job. I've got Richard here about to hit them and hit the army with a marching speed debuff because he's maxed. I've got Sun Tzu coming in here with Barca doing some debuffs. This is what we mean by swarming a rally whenever it's trying to take an objective from you. If you're in place, if you're in the right spot, they can't get to you. And at this point, he got about 20 feet outside of his front door and was like, you know what? This isn't going to make it. I'm just going to cancel the rally and send everybody back. So we just started attacking them, and they kept pulling our troops back towards their base, which worked out really well for us. So now they're starting to congregate at the front, and you know as well as I do, this is the fun time. This is the time where we start doing some serious work with what we have to do as a setup. A little selfish, I know, but I'm going to take it because that's why we play the game, guys. That's why we play the game. So, again, there's a couple straggling armies running around here. I think they were going to reinforce that Shrine of Life, or Shrine of War, excuse me. Again, I'm starting to get towards the front. My Cav rally is going. I went ahead and joined. I think that ended up being Big Rick's rally. I'm not 100%. I can't remember if I started it or not. Either way, all my other T5s, so 3 groups of my T5s are sitting right here and starting to follow them inside their base because they're dragging me in. And before y'all yell OP or whatever, they did this on purpose. So they wanted to drag me in so that they can congregate their forces and attack me all at once, which, again, normally is a great idea. They just hadn't met my armies yet. And that's not what you want to do, especially with my 2 infantry groups up here. I'll show you the battle report afterwards, but my Sun Tzu Barca group did amazingly. To me, this is not the new meta, because Richard and Charles are the meta, but Sun Tzu and Barca are 1A to me. It's not Yulji, it's Sun Tzu, because of the defense reduction, or the damage reduction, excuse me. So here's my troops coming in. Looks like Legend Foley is wanting to get into the mix as well. There's a couple rallies going out everywhere. Ronnie had a really good obelisk rally that lasted pretty much the rest of the match. It was like a 10 or 15 minute obelisk rally that just kept hitting the obelisk. They kept reinforcing it, and it was a long one. I heard throughout the Discord that's what was happening. So it was Big Rick B. So Big Rick went in and took it. Again, I'm still ahead of Ronnie. We'll see how that goes towards the end here. And again, they're still working on their obelisk. I think they lost a Shrine of Life up there too, but it was very minor. They were already on top of it, getting another rally going. And I basically just kind of camped my armies sitting right here. So again, they tried to pull me in, and I get why they wanted to do that, because they wanted to swarm me and all that good stuff. But unfortunately, the troops that they had left, because their strong players were still at the obelisk, and that's why Ronnie's side was a little bit behind coming to the front. All their strong players went to that that obelisk up top. So I had the fortune of basically getting everybody else, and there's some strong players in here, don't get me wrong, but they had mixed troops. They had siege coming at me. They had 50,000 armies coming at me, 50,000 troop armies coming at me, and I just sat here and just racked up some points, guys. I'm going to basically be having the screen here for the majority of the rest of the time, because we took back that Shrine of War courtesy of Big Rick B. Again, I mean, I kept asking, hey, do you want me to send some rallies over to where you're at? And I do pop the camera over there a couple times just to check in and make sure that they're not giving me any fibs, and that if they really need help, or maybe they didn't see something that that I could see. But yeah, we took that. We're good to go. I'll pull my cav back just in case we need to send another rally so that they're ready to go for the next rally at my city. So this is the shrine. I was asking, hey, do you want me to rally the shrine? They're like, no. You want me to rally the obelisk? You know what's going on? I think that's the scout that I did on their obelisk. Or did I scout yet? I was trying to rally, but they rallied already, so I couldn't rally it the same thing twice. So they had a couple people doing some work over here. They quickly cleaned that up, no problem. Again, I can leave these troops because they're so tanky. Even the archer group is pretty tanky just because of how many troops are in the army. Like, it started out with 310,000 or 315,000, I think. And they were just kind of sitting there. I think I ended up just keeping my 2 infantry groups up here because I also wanted to have a second archer group in case we needed to do some rallies, so that I can rally with cavalry with Big Rick leading it, and then I would lead the archer rally in case we needed to do that. But at this point, again, I mean, there's just massive battles. There's 17 minutes left. I would normally speed up some of this stuff, but it's about to get real. It's about to get real busy because they're not leaving. They all start congregating right there, and I'm just kind of positioning my troops to maybe make them enticing, like, hey, my army's over here by themselves. You don't have to worry about people attacking, that kind of thing. This was Legend Ronnie's, this was his rally on the obelisk again. Aaron's in the process of rallying that. I can't rally it, so he already had the rally going, which is right there. And then Becarius was actually rallying Legend Ronnie's rally. Rallying Legend Ronnie's rally, yeah. So lots of rallies going on this side. There's the rally on his rally. And it's doing some good work, but not enough. But it takes a long time. He's very busy over there. All their cities are still there. So they've got half their cities there and half their cities here. I'm basically keeping them cooped up here so they can't reinforce over to the other obelisk and help out their buddies. And they can't really they can't teleport anymore because they don't have any more teleports because they've only got 1 obelisk. So you can see up there at the top, it's 0 out of 20. They've already used everything they can. So again, my point here is to just hold these guys in. Don't let them escape. Give time for the folks at the top to go ahead and get that rally done. Kill as many troops as they can. Get their points. At one point, you'll see me open up the points list and make sure that we try and get as many points or many people on our team with 10,000 points. I'm telling my guys here, what are you doing? Don't let them out. Go attack them. Don't just watch me kill stuff here. And this was the point where I was telling you where they had sent somebody to kind of do a little sneak around. There was about 50,000 troops in that thing, and I believe somebody on Cuba's team took care of it. I want to say it was Deck Island who went ahead and just handled that for us. So I didn't have to worry about it. Didn't have to send a rally. There was nothing there. Same thing with the Shrine of War on Ronnie's side. I think they just took care of it. The middle team definitely came in handy to handle the nuisance stuff that really gets irritating during a match because like stuff like this. Like they capture your obelisk behind you, and it's like you're all the way at the front of their base. What are you going to do? Like, are you going to send your army back to the base and then rally it, or what? Or even march just straight across to the obelisk? It would take 10 minutes. It's the rest of the match. So, more exciting stuff. This is about to go down. You're about to see some serious AoEs raining down on everybody. You're about to see my Sun Tzu and Barca group tank the entire base by himself for like 8 minutes. And my Richard and Charles group is over here like, what about me? What about me, guys? They get some work done, but not quite as much as my Sun Tzu and Barca group. I noticed that they wanted to attack the Sun Tzu group more. I think it's just because Sun Tzu is generally not really known as a defensive infantry commander, so they thought they could maybe take him down a little bit quicker. And joke's on them. Did some serious work. So as you can see, that's my archer group there. I'm raining down arrows with YSG. I do not have him maxed out like Ronnie does. A little bit of jelly on that one. But otherwise, he's doing some really good damage. The Osman YSG pairing definitely does some really good direct damage with nuking. I've got the leadership and nuke tree with Osman for my primary, so that I've got expansion to my army. I've got damage for my skills, and I've also got a lot of rage regeneration from both trees as well. So that's the way you make that tree. And he's only like 43 or something, so he can get a lot better. I think he's probably best used as a secondary to another nuker, but for right now, I don't have an LCID that's leveled up very well. So, and even my Herman is really low. But as you can see, I'm just trying to poke in. I'm trying to get a couple fights. I'm trying to poke at them and get them to attack me. Nothing major just yet, but it starts to go down very quickly once they drag my Sun Tzu into the base, which is going to happen very soon. Pretty soon also I'm going to send my archers back here because they're not much left to them. They had some troops left, but at this point I wanted to have another rally capability just in case they started attacking some of our other stuff down south. This is what's happening up top. So I've got everything hemmed down up here, right? We're done with the bottom side. And this is what they get to play with on the top. A little unfair. Started to get a little jealous. We did just lose that rally, it looked like. Yeah. But look how long it took them to kill it. And I guarantee you they just burned a lot of their own troops doing it. So this is me trying to maybe send a rally over to help them. I'm going to basically send a cav army. The problem is I didn't know Rick had ported to the other obelisk already before they capped it back. So he was over there. He joined my rally. He came all the way across the map just to go back again in my rally. So it didn't work out very well there. I think it ended up arriving just a little bit late. We did end up capping it with my rally though. But it was a little late. It was about 2 or 3 minutes late because of how far they had to travel. So I think this is where they start to get a little irritated and they just want to make a push. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. I've already sent my archer group back, so I've just got 2 infantry groups here. And I just want to play. That's all I want to do. I want to just have your armies attack my armies, and let's just play. So they all start converging, and Almighty Demon and General Wasabi are doing some serious work. Kusunoki there is doing some really good AoE archer damage. And then Almighty Demon with his Minamoto, I think he's almost, if not fully maxed as well. So doing a really good job. And here's my Sun Tzu. And you know when my Sun Tzu gets activated because just fire just starts raining down. There's Sun Tzu again. So believe it or not, Sun Tzu really complements Barca in a couple ways. Barca has a lot of really good defensive capability skills at the front. And then on top of that, obviously the army capacity is a big deal. But the skill damage actually ends up kind of becoming a thing. I know that his skill damage factor on Barca is not really that great. I mean, just look at all these AoEs, just insane. But once you pair it up with Sun Tzu, who has a 20% skill damage bonus, it starts to stack up. Like, look at all these AoEs that are going off. I'm just wrecking everything around me. And I didn't even start with a full group here. Like, at this point, I had already gotten maybe 5 or 6 armies to crash on me and lower me down. So this is where it really gets fun. So they brought my Sun Tzu group in. They're like, we're just going to swarm you. And that's just not the right idea. As you can see, I'm just sending armies home with sad faces nonstop. I mean, just nonstop. Oh. I'm sure if you've already watched Ronnie's video, you hear me in the background going, this is just nuts. Like, this is just nuts. I'm just laughing. Like, it's just a blast. Obviously, I can sit here and do this all day. That's why you do this. That's why you get these kinds of troops, so that you can just sit there and park them. And as you can see, I'm close to 100,000. I'm trying to, and this is where I'm looking for the folks that are underneath 10, so that I can make sure I'm like, hey, come up here with me, or go to altars, that kind of thing. Again, just more fire just raining down. That elephant does some serious damage with Sun Tzu because of the 20% bonus too, and it's AoE. So it's just tons of AoE damage. They wanted to engage my Richard and Charles down there. Again, not a really good idea. I want them to bring him in too, so I can basically have just two armies just tanking everything. And lo and behold, they pull me back in. This I am Duff guy decided to pull me. Again, you can tell he did it on purpose, because I'm going to camp, and then he's going to attack me. Like, he's going to stop and then run away again. Like, he's trying to pull me. See? Like, he's trying to pull me in. Like, he wants to pull me in. So that's what you want to do. That's cool. I'll sit here and wait for y'all to attack me. So they're trying to also run past me so they can go over to attack the other folks behind me, but they're holding their own. They're doing a really good job. And there's tons of troops down here at the gate as well, just ready for them to come out whenever they decide they want to try and break out. So as you can see, Sun Tzu, he has taken damage, but he's just sitting there killing stuff. Like, half the time I don't even pay attention to him. I was over here trying to finagle with my Richard group, trying to get them in position for things. Like, I'm trying to attack these guys running by me, and it won't let me do it. I was trying to attack that one there and just wouldn't let me do it. But I just basically camped this Sun Tzu group. I just want to look at it because it gets even better. I mean, two armies just sitting inside their base, tanking their entire army, and then the other folks coming down and getting smashed by Almighty Demon, and Kinsey, and General Sabi. Just who was it? Wilhelm. He was there too. Yeah, I mean, these guys just don't die. Like, my Sun Tzu my Sun Tzu troops are slowly dwindling down, but by this point they've killed millions of troops, and they're not done yet. This is another thing too, right? Don't run at this point. If you need your troops back, which I didn't, this is where I had over 100,000 personal score. If you need your troops back, just sit tight. Let them kill you. You'll get your commander back quicker. Heal up at your city, and run back out again. Don't run. You're not using skills. You're not generating rage. You're not really doing any damage. There's no point in running. Especially in the Ark, because you're just going to slow yourself. And even if you do get away, you're hurting yourself in the long run, because you're slower than if you were running away dead. It just doesn't make sense. So finally they got me. It took them quite a bit of time, but they finally got my Sun Tzu group, and this was the battle report. I'll save you the math and counting. I believe it was either 26 or 28 armies that are in this battle report. And with the exception of maybe a couple, they were all defeated armies. Like, they weren't just, people passing by and getting AoE'd by a debuff or something. So, and again, at that point I had one infantry army left at the front, but again, that was more than enough with Legend Foley and Demon up there helping me out. So we were good to go there. And at this point, I believe, yeah, my cavalry army is on the march. I think I see that here pretty soon. I'm also trying to attack people that are coming out, but they keep dying. And, spoiler alert, Rick got a little upset with me because I was doing all this and he wasn't getting the kills like he usually does. So I apologize to you, Big Rick, but I can't miss out on this fun. Okay. So again, they're pulling me back in because they think they're going to do the same thing they did to my Sun Tzu, but this is an unstoppable force. This is an immovable object. You cannot turn these guys away. So they're just going to sit here and do work, and not really much else to do. So here's the cavalry rally. Big Rick joined this one, and I think a couple others. And again, I think at this point, they weren't attacking the obelisk. Our team wasn't, but they were just knocking the cities out. And as you can see, they're starting to pour it out. And because of that, they weren't able to reinforce the obelisk like they were when Ronnie did it. So Ronnie had a lot harder of a time because he probably had to fight 5 times as many troops as I did right here. So I did see a reinforcement go in there just a little bit, but it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. And they really pulled Legend Foley. I don't know if Legend Foley decided to go all the way in there on his own or if he was off doing other things. There's Aaron doing some serious work down there, getting his nice shiny T5 cavalry in the mix. I talked to Ronnie after the Ark. Obviously, we were all pumped and excited to talk about how we did, and he said Aaron did a great job doing rallies and just kind of coordinating his own set of things that he was doing and not really needing it much management. So that was really good. Again, that's part of the whole thing. Like, this was a team effort. That's why I read out my side, because the folks that I had on my side were strategically selected. They weren't just, you're the top 30 power in our alliance. So these were people that we selected because they've been with us in Arks in the past. They've worked with us. I can trust them to do what I ask them to do. And they come up with solid, things that are happening throughout the battle. Hey, there's a rally coming. Hey, what if we take this really quick? Something quick like that can really change the course of a battle. And I thought this was going to be a lot closer Ark than it ended up being because of how it was kind of positioned to me. At the end of the day, this was probably one of the easiest rallies that I've done since the Ark came out. The first one we did was very, very easy, but I think that's just because it was so new. Nobody really knew what was going on, so we just kind of threw everything out there. But this one was definitely, especially now that I've really built up my commanders, I've got the troop count, I've got all this stuff kind of on my way to really maxing out all my commanders. This is what the fruits of that labor is just being able to really go after it. They didn't really end up attacking my Richard and Charles army. I wish they would. Like, I left it sitting there just hoping. And they did a couple times, but they'd run away. Like, they'd grab it and they'd run away. And I was camped, so I wasn't moving anywhere. And I probably could have uncamped and let them attack me, but most of the time they just went right by me and started going for free P16 or whatever. And I was trying to, I'm like, you're right there. Why can't I attack you? Why can't I attack you? Please let me attack you. And looks like I Am Duff is trying to do some work on Kenny and Foley. And when you've got 8 armies on you, eventually you do go down. I mean, this is the way it is. So at this point, I had capped the obelisk and burn him. Burn this man. That's basically what Ronnie said. So I was like, you know what? Y'all do that. I'm going to let y'all have your fun. You worked hard for that obelisk over there. So many rallies went up against it. At this point, we're basically done. Okay, there's 1:40 left. They weren't attacking me anymore. They were pretty much just, they probably went out to get their dinner ready or have a smoke or something because, yeah, this was pretty much it. And again, they did a great job. I don't want to say they didn't. I think they had overwhelming odds against them. And I think our strategy was just better. I think really what it boiled down to is we had more T5 troops than they did, and we had a better strategy as well. When you have those two combination of things, it's really hard to beat. You need to have at least one or the other to stand a chance. You can be less on T5. I've seen plenty of arcs where there's no T5 going up against 3 T5, and they win because they have the better strategy. But if you don't have the strategy and you don't have the troops, it's pretty much a recipe for disaster, and this is exactly what you see. We ended up getting, I want to say, up the upper 60,000 range, 66,000-ish, something like that. Again, I mean, Kamikaze porting in there at the end, trying to get his points. Again, I mean, we're just did work. I mean, there wasn't any other way to describe it. we brought our lunch pail to the Ark. We sat down. We said, "This is ours," and we didn't look back. There wasn't really a point in here where we were missing anything that we couldn't handle. And again, that comes from coordination, strategy, knowing each other for quite a while, and again, just having the initiative and taking it. Burn this man. This is not the right thing to do. But sweet, sweet victory. Okay, so again, I promised y'all last Ark video that I was going to beat Ronnie in points, and we had 21.2 million kills, 8.7 severely wounded units, and 6 million units healed, 35 teleports, which is huge, 4 Ark of Osiris captures, which is just as huge, 15,000 points. We got every point that you can get. That's your boy Dragothian right there, #1 champion of Egypt. Right there. 116,000, and don't forget my 2 points. I sat there and I stared at it. I laughed. I thanked Jesus. Thanked the Lord. I said, my time has come. And Ronnie was gracious. I will say that. He was gracious. He said, you know what? It was your time. 5.9 million kills, folks. 5.9 million. I fell over in my chair. 5.9 million kills. Oh, everything is green, right? New record. New record. I didn't cap any Osirises, so that's a problem, right? That's our strategy. And the heals were definitely good too. Just above my historical average, which makes sense. The kill score was definitely above average because of how many kills I got. 5.9 million kills will do that. So very, very, very excited about this win. We did a great job as a team. I do go through a couple of the reports here, and I will speed it up. I won't make you go because I sat there for like 15 minutes afterwards and went through some of these reports. There was me getting the rank 1 message, 116,000 points there personally. 66,283 as an alliance. That's a solid number. And that was against a solid opponent too. They were no joke. They had not lost. They hadn't lost. This was the battle of the undefeateds. And we won pretty handily. Pretty darn handily. I do go through some of the menu here because I do like to give kudos where it's due. Just kind of looking at the numbers again because I'm not familiar with these numbers. But they are solid. You know, Legend Ronnie coming in at a solid 82,000. That's, I think, probably still his highest score. Big Rick B, Cuba J. I didn't quite see it because I started scrolling a little quick there. I was looking to check to see who didn't get 10,000 is what I believe I was doing. We get an inactive message. That's not what I want to see right before, right after winning an Ark. I don't want to see people being inactive. This was the Sun Tzu group there. I think what I'll do, guys, is I'll do another after action report. It didn't look like it got a whole lot of great feedback the last time I did it, but I think this one might give you a little bit better perspective on what it means to have a fully endgame army. I'm still not quite there. I've got Max Richard, Max Sun Tzu, and Max Barca. That Max Barca Sun Tzu group did some really good work, and that's what you're seeing right here. Defeat, 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 defeat. This guy just ran away. Defeat, defeat. I don't even know how many troops I killed, but it was a decent amount because it's over 100,000 power. He did just a ton of work. I mean, there was probably 2 million power in there lost just from this one army, at least. So very powerful whenever you get your folks maxed up. Talents matter. You know what? I take that back. Sun Tzu is only level 55, so he's not even fully leveled up. He is maxed out on skills, though, so that's where you're seeing all the defeats. I don't know where these question marks come from. It just doesn't make sense to me. But as you can see, just nonstop. And eventually they do get me because it was 28 armies. I mean, what are you supposed to do? So I'll leave the rest of this for another day. I started taking some screenshots and sending some reports out. And I did filter through these and save them into my favorites. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick 5-10 minute after action report. I hope those are beneficial to y'all. If not, let me know and I'll just skip them. I don't want to waste my time if it's not something that you guys want to see. But I do like kind of going over what happened and why their troops did really well against one of my armies, and one of my armies did really well against their troops or whoever that is. So I do like going over that stuff because you learn from that. That's how you learn the game, and that's how you try to figure out which combinations are really good. You can see like a main Scipio with Joan in the background, they all die. Like it just doesn't make sense. Or main Belisarius and Boudica, they lost half their troops and ran away. Like, you know, stuff like that. It just doesn't, you learn what not to do by looking at these reports. And I'm going through these for 10, 15 more minutes. So I'm gonna pause it and end it here. I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream, or not the live stream. I hope you enjoyed the Ark recording. I hope that you enjoyed the way that I did this. I know it's not the full screen like I've been doing lately, and that's what you'll get going forward on my normal stuff. But this, I wanted to make sure I had every tool at my disposal to do well by this Ark, and it sure paid off. I hope you enjoyed the footage. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed all the killing, the #1 rating on the Alliance. Law kicked butt this time. So hope you all enjoy. I'll talk to y'all later. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think. Please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. I'm also going to hop on soon for some Spring Festival content. I hope you like that too. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Cheers.